Got one off the tree. Big one. Big one. Yes, sir. Oh my gosh. The Scaled Up series, what is this? Well, it's my documented journey into the wild, wild west world of big, big swim baits, both hard baits and soft baits. Because you know what? Over my 15, 20 years of bass fishing, I have not spent nearly enough time on these baits, and they catch big ones. And the way the series works is that I get a box full of mystery swim baits from the fine folks at swimbaits.com. They are the sponsor of this series. And my goal with the 2 swim baits that come in the mystery box is to learn as much as I can about them, and of course, catch fish on each one of these baits. Now, like I said, swimbaits.com sponsors this series. They are an awesome online retailer that sells both garage-made and mass-produced baits. They have added tons of new swim bait brands to the website, and as always, the exact baits that are in my mystery box that I'm going to fish in today's video, you can find links down in the video description. Big thanks to swimbaits.com for sponsoring this series. Let's take our scissors, open up this box, and find out what we're fishing with. And oh my goodness, I recognize a logo that I have been hoping comes in a box and is finally in here. And if you're in the swim bait world, you know all about that logo. It is Throwback Baits, and they have included not just one, but 2 of one of their, I believe it's an ABS plastic bait, the Wake Walker LT. Kyle from the company there on the back of the package says, tie it on and get bit. 2 ounces, 5.5 inches, just like the original Wake It High on the Surface or Burn It Fast to Dive. What a beautiful, good looking bait right there. He sent a total bone white color and then some kind of chartreuse bluegill looking color. And the tail is very, very bungee, almost like an Elastec material. I assume this holds up to a decent amount of fish. We'll find out. And even if we just land 1 fish, that'll be a huge increase in success over the last time I fished a crankdown. Again, these are not my favorite type of swim baits, but the entire goal of the series is to push me beyond my comfort zone, fishing baits that I probably normally wouldn't. And then we have a bait that I have never seen in my life. It is a soft paddle tail swim bait, kind of looks like the Hallelujah gill that I had a few videos ago, and that is the CHR swim baits. I'm excited to hear from John about this bait because there's not much information in the box besides a beef hook. Holy cow, Owner Beast 10-aught? Oh, is this really the size hook you gotta throw on this thing? I guess so. Wow. And CHR also sent 2 different colors, a bone and a shad color, kind of has a purple glimmer to the top, and it looks like a very specific screw lock to keep it in the bait. But I guess a screw lock of this size is necessary for a swim bait like this. It does have an underneath cavity, just like the Hallelujah, but it feels a lot softer than most soft plastic swim baits of this size that I've thrown. Tiny little cavity in the top there for your hook, and a big boot tail. So those are the CHR swim bait. Excited about that, but also pumped to have Throwback in the series. Enough talking though, let's get on the phone with our swim bait expert, John, to learn a little more about these lures. All right, we are here in the studio with swim bait expert himself, John. Good to have you back on the series.
Good to be back, Tyler. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has, but we're gonna talk about some cool baits. I'm excited about this month's box, the LT and the CHR.
Oh,
this
yeah,
one
that's
being
great.
a very juicy looking soft bait. I know you know the owner of this company. Tell us a little bit about this bait.
That's a great bait. I use it a lot in ponds. I do really well with it. You can skip it. It's got an owner hook, and I like the bluegill color because of ponds. You just reel, and I use the saw. I use the saw a lot with glide baits and soft plastics, and I just crush them on the stall, and then you can flip it up under cover and that kind of thing, and it's done real well for me. So. And
it comes with a 10-aught hook, yes, which I'm just going to be honest, is a daunting hook to rig and throw. Yeah, it's called the Beast, and an upgraded, upsized screw lock. Is that because this thing just is so big and beefy, you need a bigger screw lock?
Yeah, and then you can skip it, not have any worries about it ripping out and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the guys in Southern California and Arizona who just creep these things along the side of cattails, and out of nowhere their rod just gets taken out of their hand. So hopefully that can happen here. But you know what? Instead of talking about this bait right here, we're going to go straight to the source. So we'll see y'all in central Minnesota to talk about the Wake Walker LT with Kyle Buchholz, the founder of Throwback Baits. Welcome to Scaled Up. I just want to thank you for being a part of this series. I think I could speak for most of the swim bait world when I say Throwback is probably dang near the top of the baits people want and the baits people are throwing right now. And so the fact that we get the Wake Walker LT and you in the flesh is pretty dang cool.
Happy to be here. Like I said, we're very excited to put these to test today, and let's see what they can do.
So I unboxed it on camera and showed my viewers, but tell me a little bit about the LT. Has it always been, as ABS injected plastic?
Yes.
Okay, so has it always been injected, or was there a resin precursor to this bait?
Perfectly perfectly set up. There was a resin precursor. The Wake Walker was actually the first bait that I created back in 2020 out of my garage. So the Wake Walker is kind of our flagship bait. The resin version is 7 inches. It's a little heavier, it's 3 ounces. It dives down a little bit easier just because of the resin construction, not being able to have quite as much buoyancy, but the ABS LT version is just as good as the resin at the, the affordable cost.
Now, I told my audience that I had a crank down or a wake, whatever I wanted to call it, early on in the series, and it wasn't successful. So is this a crank down or is it a wake?
This is a true wake and crank. So this is,
so yes.
It's confusing, I know. If you have your rod tip up high and you're reeling this slow, it wakes like phenomenally.
Okay.
If you put your rod tip down and you burn it, it's gonna act more of like a crankbait, chatterbait in that 1 to 2 foot range. So it can be utilized as both. My favorite way to fish is a waking on top.
Okay, awesome. And we're at a location today, y'all. Enough chit chat that I think they're gonna eat this thing. So let's get down to the water for day number 1 of both of us on this episode. Can't believe we have you on it. Let's get to fishing. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the conditions that are best for the LT and the gear that is, I wouldn't say necessary, but like what do you prefer for a crank down or wake like this?
Conditions, I mean, it's your standard wake bait weather. This is pretty prime. Laydowns, trees like that. Typical topwater bite applies to this. For gear, I'm throwing this on the Omega Finesse, the Leviathan. It's a 0.5 to 2 ounce rated rod. It's got a really fast tip. I really like the fast tip because it offers like a little bit of forgiveness. So when they grab those trebles, you're not ripping them right out of their mouth. Anywhere in that like 6 to 7 to 1 ratio is pretty good.
It doesn't matter whether it's rock bottom, soft bottom, around grass, around wood, or can it kind of be fished anywhere?
It really can be fished anywhere. It's pretty versatile. I think for a treble bait, like it comes through grass and lily pads pretty well. The bait itself gives off a big presence without having to move it much. So you can really creep it and keep it in the spot really well.
Sick. Well, we're gonna have you give some specific tips on certain casts, but I say we catch them.
Do it.
Now, as y'all can see from the drone shot here, you can either crank this bait, like he said, really slowly across the water surface, keeping your rod tip high. You can drop your rod tip, have a smaller diameter line, like a fluorocarbon or monofilament, and it will actually crank a little bit. Or you can put your rod tip to the side and walk it like a walking bait, and it makes that tail just jitter back and forth. And as you can tell, we are in a bit of current today. It's not as bad as it could be, but I mean, I'm gonna get myself into a situation, I guarantee it, in which my kayak is sideways to a tree.
Oh, did he come off? Dude, I was swatting a fly out of my, oh, he's back.
Oh, no way, no way. Heck yeah.
Here I am swatting a fly off me. Oh, we got him.
Let's go, baby.
That was sick, dude.
Well, as it should be, the bait's creator catches one before I do, and you know what? I'm not upset about it. What a beautiful fish.
2.5, something like that.
That's so sick.
Ate it right away. I missed the hook set and then came back when I was cranking it.
Stay chewing. All right, so his fish ate on top. I'm definitely cranking it too fast. I need to be imagining this is a wake bait, not a crankbait, so keep my rod tip high and go a little slower. Walk, 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 walk. What a perfect spot, man.
So over these little spots along the bank, I really like to hit close and then kind of give it a little bit of wiggle like this on top to get it to stay in place, and then I'll burn it out of there. So you kind of give them a nice option of biting it on the wiggle, or if they're feeling fired up, they'll come chase it out with the burn. There we go.
Oh, he's got another one. Goodness.
Woo! We're going into a tree. Oh, oh, oh. That was a crap show. I was just talking about how it's a matter of making these right casts. Another little 2-pounder. I was walking it on top, like just popping it like this. And then he came up for it.
Man, this guy's putting on a clinic.
Over the tree. Oh yeah. Oh, he come off, dude. I called it. Over the tree. Ooh.
Holy smokes.
Dude, I can't keep him pinned.
I know now if I want to scale up my fish catching production, bring the people who make the baits. Maybe it's the white.
Put it on. We're the shot. The walk on this thing is not your traditional walk. Like, it's more of a head roll and the tail just flops with it. Like, it's not walking in place per se. It's just making a lot of commotion in a small space.
Gonna let it drift to the top side of a current filled tree and then work it out the edge. Wow, nothing. Oh, there's one. There's one. Get over the tree. Get over the tree. Holy cow, what a risky cast. What a risky, yes, sir! Oh, what an adrenaline rush. Holy cow, that was crazy. Instant replay of where I made that cast, y'all. That was not very smart, but it worked out with a big one. Yes. And for once, I had a really good net job. Well, first fish of the episode for me on the Wake Walker LT. And I think the white not only looks better in this color water, but I think it may be the ticket. And so the fact that I got it on braid probably was needed to wrench it out over the 4 logs that I made a cast over. But what a gorgeous fish. I'm gonna get my own Instagram story and we'll let this beautiful fish go. So exhilarating bite. Success? But we're not close to being done yet, baby. Okay, you're going even slower than I am.
Yeah, I'm like,
I see that now.
I'm just shaking my rod.
Yeah, yeah. And that's where having this, like, the little bit of tip helps.
Oh yeah.
I got it, yeah.
Yep. There we go. Woo! It's a better one. I would guess it's probably about a 3-pounder on that. Wake Walker LT.
Got him, got him. Just came up and like gulped it. That wasn't even a hard bite at all. That was so cool. Yes, that's a little bit bigger. Come on, he's got red eyes. Wake Walker LT. If I wasn't watching, I 100% would have missed that bite because it was just like, just slurped it, but a beautiful red-eyed Minnesota smallmouth bass. Catching them on a swim bait, come on. All right, I'm 2 for 2 on standing up. And on every cast, you can do multiple different retrieves. You can start by walking the dog up top and then slowly cranking it, then give it a burn, then a pause, then a burn, then a pause. I mean, you can trigger multiple different styles of fish on every cast. And I'm not just saying that because he's with me today. This is an incredibly versatile bait. Oh, that deserved a fish. Oh, wait, he's here, he's there. No! I said it deserved a fish and there was a fish. That fish said, you're right, but no thanks.
Oh, did he like push the bait out of the water? Oh, he came back. Oh my God. That was such a sick eat. Come on, come on. That was so sick. He pushed the bait out of the water.
No way.
And I reeled it all the way in and he ate it like a foot off the paddleboard.
Oh, sick.
Chunky one, look at the belly on that thing, crazy.
Come on. That is sinful, I didn't catch one there. Oh no, that's bad. I've also done that a bunch and it still hasn't broken, so.
I don't, you won't even see this if they eat it, but that would be sick. Oh, oh my God, dude. That's hilarious.
Got one off the tree. Got one off the tree. Get out of here. Get out of here. Big one. Big one. Yes, sir. Oh my gosh. I was just walking it at the base of the tree and he smoked it. I told the camera a second ago, this bait is so versatile. So sick. Tail's coming out a little bit. Gotta poke it back in.
I noticed that. So we didn't want to put glue in them.
Oh.
To be replaceable.
Gotcha,
But
okay.
I think what's happening is the cold water makes that plastic just ever so shrink
A little bit.
So anyone who's had issues with that, just tell them put a tiny dab of glue in there.
Got it, okay.
Enough that you can break free to replace it if you get a pike on it, but otherwise.
Totally. Dude, this bait is legit 2.5 pounder chunky Minnesota fish.
Off the tree.
Gosh. And the deal is there, if I make a cast that is 2 inches further or 2 inches closer, that fish doesn't happen because I land on the grass or get stuck on the root. So I mean, y'all, if you're gonna fish baits like this in current, you gotta really get your roll cast going. And I think after 2 weeks in Minnesota, that's why my skill level is up because I've been doing it for a while.
There's like one, oh my God, you're kidding me. Oh, that was a big fish.
Now, one thing I'm learning is that if I'm gonna make a risky cast, I might as well get as close as possible to the location because these fish do not care. Got one, big one, big one, big one. On the dome of the head. On the dome of the head. Yes, sir. Like I said, get yourself in this situation close to the tree. I had him in the mouth, but that hook popped out, got him in the top of the dome. And my gosh, what a beautiful long fish. That fish would go a long ways in my Fishing Chaos online tournament, which by the way, if you haven't joined, go ahead and join. It's free and I'll link it below. But even though this is Minnesota and the fishing is generally better, I can't believe how good today is going on the LT. Heavy rod and braided line is definitely not best for hookups and keeping fish pinned, but I would not have landed probably any of the fish today if I was throwing 15, 17 pound resin line.
Oh, how sick was that? Good one, good one, good one. Oh, come in the net. Let's go. LT to the face.
Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. Oh my goodness. That was cool. Oh no, ooh. I smacked, oh no. I broke it. Oh, well, that'll happen when you make dangerous casts. When I catch up with Kyle, I'm gonna have to tell him the bad news. Dang it. I mean, it still has 2 hooks. What does the LT stand for?
Just light.
Oh, light. Okay, well, here's a light short.
Whoa.
I smoked a tree.
Did you?
I mean.
No way. Let me see that.
No, I'm not blaming you for that one. I smoked a tree.
Dang, I'll get you that one.
Got him. Got him. That was cool. That was cool. Get over here in the gill. Yes, sir. Another lanky one. This fish has never met protein powder. Just such a beautiful fish. Caught on a beautiful bait. Heck yeah. All right. See ya, little girl. Little big girl. Oh, that was a big one. It was a big one. Eat it, eat it, eat it. Oh, no, 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 no. Ah, bad, 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 bad. I'm not gonna catch that fish, but I'm gonna try. Ah.
Called it. So sick. Oh, what a jump. Oh, watch your feet, watch your feet. Let's go. Woo! There you go. Beautiful fish on the LT.
Well, what a day on the Wake Walker LT, not just because you're standing here, but I'm gonna tell you, this bait is absolutely killer, and I'm glad swimbaits.com has some. They might be gone by the time the video comes out, but hopefully not. They're gonna be for purchase there, and probably lots of retailers around the country on this bait.
Lots of retailers.
But a heck of a bait, a heck of a day for both of us to catch fish, and if you wanna see more bait makers in the videos with me, I can't always guarantee that to happen, but I'm gonna try to do that more so. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
And we'll see y'all for day number 2 on the big 10-aught soft bait. Now, I've got to be honest with you guys, this is not my first attempt at completing day number 2 of today's scaled up episode with the CHR soft swim bait. But this day was rough from start to finish. My live scope broke on my kayak, the water was down over 10 feet, and the fish just didn't want a big gizzard shad profile soft swim bait. I couldn't get a bite. So I packed it up and took the CHR to the Texas-Oklahoma border to try to catch a big striper on this thing. Yeah, that is a sickly striper. But after seeing there was no current on the water to speak of, I packed up and said, you know what? We're gonna try this a 3rd day on a lake that actually makes sense, and that's where we are today. Because with the cover and structure available in this lake and the conditions we have today, it should be a big bass biting day, and that's a good day to throw the CHR. Let's make our first cast. Now, the thing I like most about this swim bait is that, as you can see here, it is just giving it a beautiful kick. Almost, I would call it Huddleston-esque. Now, if you want a swim bait that you can burn across the surface without it turning over, this is not the bait. It does tend to turn over. But if you want to give it a nice slow crawl across the bottom or in the column, this is definitely a good bait. Like I said, it kind of fits that Huddleston slow and slow along the edge of grass, along the edge of cattails. And I think today, this is the lake that I could get it done at. Now, all around me, I've seen tons and tons of fall-time baby threadfin shad popping everywhere. So the fishery is active. I just hope the bass are too. And my strategy today is to cast it out there, let it sink all the way down to the bottom, and just creep this swim bait along the grass edges, the drains, the points. But with no scope in the jet boat, we're going old school. And honestly, with this bait, that feels right. And I'm just now realizing I haven't talked about what gear I'm throwing this swim bait on, it being the Signature Series 711 heavy power rod. Again, because this thing is just a beast of a hook right there. I mean, look at that. That's like twice the size of any other jig hook you got out there. I've got to have a rod that I can cast this thing far and drive the hook into a big one from long distances, and that's the only rod I got that can do it. So is it a normal swim bait rod for most of the size I've been throwing in the series? No, but it's needed today. Gotta channel my inner Mike Gilbert.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a ghost, I'm a ghost.
Well, casting around the grass line has not worked out yet. So I say we crank her up, and with it being fall time, go as far to the back of an arm as we can. Oh my goodness, oh, I had a bite, my first bite. Did not feel very big, but oh my gosh, did that feel good. Just a donk donk. And it was right when I got around some really shallow hydrilla mixed with all these pads. So maybe I shouldn't cast it out deep and slow roll it. Maybe today, with it being fall, overcast, and rainy, I should be up shallow, at least retrieving it somewhat fast around this grass here. I just saw a gizzard shad jump out of the water. They must be here. I mean, y'all have seen in the series, I have struggled with these big soft baits, and I think it's just because you need a bigger caliber fish to eat it, and these fish just don't live everywhere. Ah, man, and the rain is back. And it's flying sideways from the north, which means the front is here. Well, sadly, the struggle continues of catching fish on the big soft baits. I'm fully convinced it's not a skill issue. I have the skills, the gear, the equipment to catch fish on these baits, but I really think it is a time on the water, it is a location, time of the year, and a commitment thing that I just don't really honestly have the time for. And so I'm not saying I'm done with big soft baits and I'm gonna tell swimbaits.com to stop putting them in my mystery boxes, but I'm gonna tell them, hey, let's put a pause on it for now, because these things take a whole new level of commitment. From every swim bait expert I've talked to about this category, they've echoed the same exact thing, and that is that big soft baits are the best at catching giants, but definitely the hardest to just get bit on in general. So is the CHR a bad bait? Absolutely not. Matter of fact, it's gonna stay in my arsenal when I have that perfect lake, that perfect situation. I'm kind of thinking about that West Coast style of fishing with the cattails, when you really have to creep a bait slowly. Matter of fact, I have a few lakes in certain times of the year for that in mind. But am I gonna throw it a whole lot, or really this category a whole lot? I'm probably not. Now, one bait that I am pumped that Throwback wanted to be involved in this, and I'm definitely gonna keep it in my arsenal going forwards, is the Wake Walker LT, and heck, I may have to pick up an OG resin Wake Walker. And as much as I wish I could show you guys how awesome this bait is, I've seen tons of big fish get caught on this thing. That's just not the kind of time I have. Even though fishing, yes, is my job, making videos is my job, I have to make several videos a week, and so I can't take the time to throw this thing and maybe catch one 10, in Texas at least, 10 to 12 pound bass on this thing is totally possible, but I've got to make other videos. And so swim baits like this one, where I can get more bites and get more fish on camera for you guys, this is definitely going in the box right away. This one is only going to be pulled out in certain circumstances. But man, what a fun episode. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. As always, my tackle, my rods, reels, and the swim baits I was using are linked down in the video description. I am so pumped for the next episode in the series. I've already begun filming it, and let me tell you, you are not gonna want to miss it. My name's Tyler. As always, it's a dang pleasure, and we'll see y'all next time right here on Scaled Up.